Hi Aquarius, and welcome to your reading. Okay, let's see. What does Aquarius need to know? I'm gonna pick that up later. What does Aquarius need to know? Okay, anything else for Aquarius with what they need to know? Let's see. Okay, so apparently not yet. Not a side note. This. Not something you need to know. This is. Wait. Present moment or present energy? Not something you need to know. Okay, so what else does Aquarius need to know? Oh, let it fly. Not this one. Wait. This? What this is? Not something you need to know. Wait, main or side? Main or side? Side note. What's the last thing for what Aquarius needs to know? Wait. Last and final options. What are these two? And this is. Okay. Okay, Aquarius. Down here are your side messages, but we're going to get into that after the main spread. So let's see. You have the Ace of Air, King of Water, Masculine, Feminine, the Maiden, Emotion, Intellect, Desire, Ace of Earth, and the Youth. Okay. Aquarius, let's get into your reading. First, you have the Ace of Air. This feels like a similar message that I gave to you before. You don't just have a new way of thinking, you have a new attitude. The way you walk, the way you talk, the way you address a situation, the way you perceive another person's actions. It's different than how you was in the past. It's like coming to a realization that opened up a new door for you when it comes to your mentality. Yeah, the energy that you're moving in, it's like you have a broad spectrum view of your environment, situation, of a message. Like say for example, if someone has to clue you in on something that's very important, they may mean it one way, but you're pulling 10, 20, 30 different insights from it. Different ways of interpreting it, different ways of thinking on it. You may even understand it in a way the other person didn't even realize. And that's the energy that you're moving in right now. Just an overall new perspective, the way you handle a situation, the way you talk, the way you think, even the way you plan out a situation is not the same anymore. Either you're a little bit more detailed or more go with the flow, lax and lenient, making your plans more flexible and allowing for changes as you go. In regards to the energy in your environment, you have the King of Water. Even though you're highly rational, this is more of how the people in your environment perceive you. How they respond and react to you instead of how you respond and react to it. Because in your environment, you are the King of Water, which again, even though you're highly rational, you'd be the least person that would be expected to come to for emotional support, and yet it's because you're rational, it's because you are the way you are. You deliver the harsh truth, no fucks given. What you say is exactly what they need to hear. You don't cater to somebody's emotions. You tell them the blunt, honest truth, and they respect you for it. For some that are sensitive, it may be a little soul crushing, but at the end of the day, they respect the authority you have in your position. So you may be qualified to, if you're not a counselor, you have some type of authority in what it is you say and what it is you say. Because again, even though people don't always like what you have to say, they do respect it. They do respect your authority. So whatever you speak on, you could be highly valued in because you actually have the credentials, or is your job, it is your career to say or do the things you do. Now, this isn't true for all of you. For some of you, it could be reversed, where you're the person that's going to someone in your environment that's showing up as the King of Waters, and they're the ones telling you the blunt, honest truth, no matter how much it hurts your feelings. It's something you gotta know. It's something you need to hear. And at the end of the day, you respect it because either one, this person is right, or two, because they're actually qualified to speak on what it is they're speaking on. They're qualified to say what it is they have got to tell you, regardless of whether you like it or not. Now, if you are the one that's going to the King of Waters instead of, Aquarius, if you're the one that's going to a King of Water instead of being the King of Water for somebody else, you try not to take the message to heart, being that you try not to be overly sensitive about it and let your emotions get in the way of hearing the deeper message. What works in your favor is masculine and feminine. You have somewhat of an imbalance, but it works in your favor. You dip into the feminine energy. Oh, first let me back up by saying that male or female doesn't matter what your gender is, because we all have masculine and feminine energy. But for you, Aquarius, you dip your toe in the feminine energy when it's necessary, when it's needed. but you stay more on the masculine side energetically. Some of you could very well be sensitive to energy and know exactly what it is you're doing. You can maintain balance if you want to, but by being more on the masculine side than the feminine, like being more in your masculine energy than the feminine, you care less about the emotional aspect of a situation or what someone's trying to tell you. You play more of the role of a doer. Say, if there's something you need to work on, if there's a situation you need to address, you don't give a fuck about how the emotions may be involved. You handle it accordingly and deal with the emotional aspect later. If someone it's kind of like it's coming off more like a safeguard defense mechanism. For some of you, it may be in response to the King of Waters. For others of you, it may be for a different reason altogether, because for it to show up as a defense mechanism, you may be more emotionally sensitive than you think or the people around you think. And that falls more under the feminine energy side, where the more emotional, nurturing, caring, supportive and at times passive. Feminine energy is more of like the caretaker role. Put the needs of others first and caters to the emotional aspect, whereas the masculine side, in your situation, you don't give that much credit to the emotional influence. If there's a problem, if there's a situation going on, you work it out. You talk it. Either you address it on your own, make the necessary changes, or you talk it out, come to a compromise, fair agreement that everybody can live with, and keep the trains rolling. So yeah. In the present moment, some of you may be sticking to the more traditional roles. Usually with the maiden is going off on their own, having an idea of understanding an idea of the traditions and beliefs they were taught to believe and were raised with from birth, but going out to see the world, explore with open eyes, learn something new. They value the traditions they were taught, but they don't cling to them. But in your case, Aquarius, is like you're valuing the traditional roles over anything else. Be it that if you're a man, you don't show your emotions. You're tough, you're strong, you're the provider, the supporter, the backbone of the family. If your girlfriend or wife were to cook, you'd be the last one to eat, because you have to make sure that everybody else is taken care of before you take care of yourself and satisfy your own needs. Because that's what a man does, make sure everything is okay. Keeping the structure and the discipline inside the household, never shedding a tear, or let the worst of the situation get to him. Supposed to remain tough at all times. Now, if you're a female, someone who should be seen and not heard unless spoken to. Cook, clean, cater to the needs of others. If something is wrong in the household, then you're the one to blame, because that's your role and responsibility. For those of you who may have kids, trying to be the perfect mother, trying to be the perfect wife, trying to be the perfect girlfriend, meet all the needs of the family before pouring into yourself. Yes, again, whether you're male or female, you're valuing the traditional roles over anything else. You're not learning a different or new way. Alright, for clarification, those are the traditional roles for male and female, but if you were taught or raised with something different, that's what you're clinging to like a security blanket. Not deviating from the path that your mother or your father showed you. Because that's the best way to be. That's the best way to keep a wife or a husband. That's the best way to sustain your relationship. That's the best way to take care. That's the best way for self-preservation and take care. You satisfy your own needs while getting what it is you want. Whatever traditions and values you were raised with, whatever beliefs you grew up with, that's what you're clinging to. Because you think that's the best way to be at the present time, to safeguard yourself from any unfortunate events. Whether that be losing your job, losing your husband, losing your wife, or losing your partner. Making sure you raise the best kids. You keep yourself safe and secured without having a man. I don't know what Aquarius I'm reading for, but y'all are feeling some type of pressure to be a specific way. The world will fall apart. Everything will come to ruin if you don't. And you may be walking a fine line between your masculine and feminine role. Especially if you are a female, but you're dipping more into your masculine side. Going only into the feminine role when you need it, while trying to maintain the traditions and values that you grew up with. Anyway, based on the current cards and energy that came out for you so far, there's one of 3 different paths or course of action you can take based on the energy, cards and energy that came out for you already. The first being emotion and intellect. Yeah, you're balancing your emotion and intellect. I'm hearing it's time to be reasonable. You can't sustain this forever. Yeah, with this path or course of action, you're going to bring yourself back into alignment, mixing your emotions with your intellect to find the best solution of how to proceed forward. Yeah, because you have a clear understanding. Either you have a clear understanding, or you'll soon have a clear understanding that the way you are now, again, whether you're male or female, this is not sustainable. It's not life. This is not the best way to lead. It's not the best way to function. It's not the best way to conduct yourself for a healthy relationship if you are in a relationship. You may even be having a conversation with somebody to let them know how you feel. Yeah, I'm hearing speak from the heart and the soul. And it might have been your intellect, your rational thinking that's been leading you to behave this way. But again, now you're starting to balance it out a little bit. Emotion and intellect. Showing what you need to at certain times, but at the same time, taking care of you. You know, with this one, it comes across where you're more so with this one dipping into your current energy of new way of thinking. New way of thinking and new way of addressing the situation, because with this one, you're choosing a different path. You're choosing a different way of talking, choosing a different way of addressing your needs and having them met, if not by yourself, but then by others. A new way of conducting yourself, a new way of speaking on things that needs to be heard, and relaying the information in a new way that in a new way you never have before. Now, second path or course of action, you have desire. With this one, you're going to do whatever it takes to keep and maintain your heart's desire. Whether this be a person, place, job, or career, it's like, fuck the consequences. I'm going to do what I want. I'm going to do what I can to keep myself and this other person happy in the best way that I know how, to make sure I have the life I want to live. Yeah, this one comes across more so that you're dipping into your strength, well, showed up as your strength, masculine and feminine. Like I said before, it feels more like a defense mechanism, and most likely, if you resonate with this path or course of action, this may be where you're using it at, because if you don't want to risk losing something, but at the same time, if you don't necessarily care about the consequences, that means that there are some undesirable consequences. And you're shifting between your masculine and feminine energy to safeguard yourself from those unfortunate or undesirable consequences. Protecting your heart, emotions, your mentality, your sanity, your peace of mind. For all of you, it's not that extreme, it's not that severe. Yeah, there could just be minor annoyances that you learn to live with, because you understand, like, we all have our problems. With all the good, there is some bad in every person or every relationship. So yeah. So whatever it is that you deeply desire, whether it be a person, job, career, side hustle, you're taking the bad with the good and moving forward with it. But again, some of y'all are doing it in an unhealthy way where you don't necessarily care what it'll cost you, because you already learned how to defend yourself against what's coming. Because the life you live right now, you deserve it, you earned it, you worked for it. If this does involve another person, yeah, come here. I've been here since day one. So I've been here since day one. I've been doing this since day one. I've been fighting to survive. From the moment I was born. So yeah, if that resonates with you, whatever it is that you have right now that you've obtained, whether that makes you happy and fulfills your deepest desire, toxic or not, you're not letting it go because you feel like you earned it, you deserved it, you worked your ass off, and you're not taking anything less. You're tired of suffering. And with the last path or course of action, you have the Ace of Earth. With this path, you may be starting a new opportunity for yourself elsewhere. But this comes across as more financial. Yeah, you may be starting something of your own, but it comes across where it's you may be going against what you traditionally believe because it may be a little bit unorthodox. Either something that contradicts your nature or goes against what you originally believe. Or what you've been taught to believe. Yeah, whatever you're starting anew, it's something financial, it's business related. Whether it be changing jobs, changing careers, business partnership. Or you found a way to create a side income. Whether it be passive income or not. Yeah, because you're also creating like boundaries around it. They're not rigid, more of flexible. Yeah, flexible, easy to bend type of boundaries. Not so much that they break and other people cross the line, but just strong and sturdy enough to let people know where you stand and that you won't back down out of this decision. Yeah, so with this one, you may be going against, in your own way, what you've grown up with, what you've been taught to believe, what you've been raised with, because you're seeing an opportunity elsewhere. And yeah, for some of you, this could actually be good business. And what I actually just noticed now for you, Aquarius, the maiden and the youth. The youth is what you can expect over the upcoming weeks. Regardless of the path you choose, the maiden and the youth carry similar energies, but it's slightly different, where the maiden takes her journey elsewhere but remembers the values and traditions that she's been taught and carries them with her. Sometimes they bend and change as she goes, but not to the point where she forgets where she came from. Whereas with the youth, being that this is what you can expect over the upcoming weeks, you're challenging everything. What's being said, what's being done. Always asking why. Because with the youth, you're starting out on a journey all of your own, similar to the maiden, but now it's like you're questioning everything, finding your own answers among your own kind, among your own people that have similar mindset as you. If you've been raised and taught with certain beliefs, you're now considering a new path, a new direction to take. You're learning from those around you. And want to hear from the horse's mouth why it is they believe what they've been taught as well. What makes it just, what makes it fair, what makes it either better or different than what you've been, what the youth have been taught. So in a sense, Aquarius, whether it be family, friend, supervisor, or even if it was or if you're the one who's been going to the King of Water, you're challenging what's been said to you, what's been taught. You're gaining a new perspective on it, forming a new idea and your own opinion. It doesn't come across where you're outright challenging, but more of asking why. You're trying to paint a clear picture, understand things that you don't know, and put together the pieces of the puzzles that you do know, and seeking your answers elsewhere if need be. You don't want to be trapped and confined and restricted to the knowledge you've already obtained. You're seeking more elsewhere. So you're definitely getting the opinions of other people around you, or people you may not even know. Those that try to limit and stop you, you don't have the time of day for them. You want to know what it is you don't know. Now, flip the roles real quick. I did say that not all of you are going to a King of Water. For some of you, Aquarius, you are the King of Water. And being that you're the authority of what it is you say or what it is you do, you may be calling into question not your credentials, but your level of education. You may seek to expand on it and build on it. Yeah, because it's talk therapy, cognitive behavioral therapy, and different forms. So, if you're considered an authority of what you say or what it is you do, you're looking into different branches of your same area. You could be looking at different branches, at different sects, at different methods and modalities that still fit within your field to expand your knowledge, expand your business, and increase the number of credentials that you have. Yeah, 'cause I'm hearing there's more than one way to do something. There's more than one way to help somebody. And you're finding that out on your own, learning in ways you know you can. Oh, dang. I did not mean to take that long with main spread, and I didn't even clarify yet. Okay. So let's clarify for Aquarius. One moment. Let's see. This goes where? Wait, main or side? Main or side? Side note. This. So this is, yeah, right, nothing you need to know. Masculine, feminine. Wait, this is Ace of Air or Ace of Earth? Air or Earth? Earth. Not something you need to know. So side message, or you don't need it? Don't need it. Okay, so for masculine and feminine, you have death. All right. For some of you, this is a toxic, for some of you, if not all of you, this is a toxic cycle that needs to end. You know how to balance your masculine and feminine, but as I said earlier, you're dipping into the feminine energy only when necessary, when you have to, and staying more in the masculine energy as a defense mechanism, and that's a cycle that needs to stop. Aquarius, the way it's coming across, you may even be aware of that, but it serves you well. Again, a defense mechanism, so you don't see the harm. The fact that you don't see the harm is the issue. You shouldn't have to safeguard yourself in a situation from the potential harm or damage. Either the cycle ends of you staying imbalanced. Either the cycle ends of you staying imbalanced because you feel that you have to, or remove yourself from a situation. Either way, this is a time of transition. It may take some time. It may take some time, but you'll see with your own. But you'll see with your own two eyes that change is coming, and there's no way to stop it. So yeah, Spirit is going to try to guide you out of this. It's going to be a slow at first, but after a while you're going to notice that something got to go. The Maiden is clarified by the Ten of Challenge. Yeah. This is the way you're trying to keep, this is the way you're trying to maintain, but it's all facade. It's for show, surface level. You're not genuinely happy or at peace. For those of you who are or say that you are, you can feel it in your soul that something's missing, something's not quite right. Is it love if it's forced? Like, because again, you're clinging to the traditional values or beliefs that you've been taught and grown up with, clinging to them like a dang security blanket, because you think that's going to keep you here or help maintain this, but it's all surface level. It's like the people on the outside looking in see you're happy, believe you're happy, but when you get a closer view and take a look from your perspective, you are not happy. You're not satisfied, you're not fulfilled. It's like playing a part, playing a role that you've either been destined or taught to play, because you was taught the best way to be in the world you live in. It's the best way to keep a man. It's the best way to keep a wife. It's the best way to stay in a relationship and keep it going. It's the best way to be a perfect mother, perfect father. But it's not a way to live. It's not a way to truly be happy. For those of you who resonated with desire, it's clarified by the Five of Chalices. All I'm hearing is the question that if you saw before. Would you rather be a millionaire and depressed or be broke and happy? You chose depressed. You have the life you want to live, the life everyone wants to live, but you're not happy, you're not satisfied, you're not content. And the sooner you face that reality, the sooner you can fix the problem and get back to the goal at hand. Yeah, because your goal is to obtain your heart's desire, live the life of your dreams, be with the one you will love. Yeah. Aquarius, this is a general reading, so for all of y'all, your situation will be different. But there's an ideal way that you want to live. There's an ideal way that you want to be. There's an ideal partner that you want to have. And for those of you who resonate with this path or course of action, you are almost there. It's within your grasp. There's just a few minor tweaks and changes that need to be made. Because at the end of the day, until that happens, you are going to be sad. You're going to be upset. There's going to be petty annoyances that dig under your skin. For some of you, it makes life not worth living, but can you really say that if this is what's supposed to make you happy? The moment you realize your level of unhappiness and the source of the problem, the sooner you can correct it and make some changes. Now, if this involves another person, be open, be honest, and be mindful. Especially if you know how they're going to react. But at the end of the day, in order to truly be happy and in order to truly have what will bring you peace and live the life that you want, you may have to speak up for yourself and let it be known what's making you unhappy. Alright, for the Ace of Air is clarified by the King of Pentacles. Yeah, you're responsible, reliable, and determined. So whatever this opportunity is, this financial opportunity that may seem a little strange to others around you, that may even know you the longest, whether it be family or friends, you're determined to see it through because you know the benefits can bring. You understand what it will cost you, but you're willing to take that chance because, yeah, this is something you gotta do. Overall, it's good for your family, it's good for your friends, it's good for business. Now, this may seem strange, but for some of you, whether you run a non-for-profit or you own a non-for-profit, you could be thinking of branching out and adding onto the business. And again, it may seem strange, it may seem a little bit unorthodox for the people around you, but you know it's a good business deal to make. But this is the right time for it. The timing has never been more perfect. Your judgment is sound. You've looked at the numbers, you looked at the data, you looked at the risk you can afford to do, and it's compared to the benefit, compared to what you have to gain, it's a risk worth taking. Now, for those of you who that doesn't apply to, because like I said, it's going to apply to some of you. For others of you, you feel safe and secure in your decision making. You feel like it's a sound and reasonable decision, regardless of if people around you agree or not. And lastly, with the youth being clarified by the Four of Swords, this is time to take a break. It is time to take a mental and emotional break. Enough with the lessons, enough with the teachings. With that sabbatical, you're taking a leave of absence, going on a sabbatical. That's what some of you may be calling it. That you're going to get your head on straight. But really, you're going to seek the answers to some of the questions that you have. Find answers to your unanswered questions. Challenge the decisions that's been made. Expand on your level of knowledge. Build up your credentials. Challenge the teachings you've been taught. And looking at things from brand new perspective without an outside influence. Alright, in regards to your side message, the Queen of Earth, Eight of Earth, Ace of Water, and Five of Water. The only ace you do not have on this board, the only ace you don't have here is the Ace of Fire. Is this you? It comes off as somebody else. Nurturing caretaker, for some of you could be a motherly figure. Oh, I apologize, Aquarius. I told you you also have the Two of Chalices for your side message. But anyway, yeah, let me just see real quick what I was saying. Yeah, the Queen of Earth is not you. It's someone you may have admired, respected, someone who nurtured and cared for you, taught you tough lessons. And they do have your respect. They've worked hard. Everything they worked for, they earned. And accomplished with their own two hands. That's why you have such admiration and respect for them. Yeah, they have something to prove, but more to themselves than to others around them. They didn't let self-limiting beliefs hinder them. Because yeah, this is coming off, this is someone in your life. It's not giving your energy. But these three do. This is so weird. Your heart is closed for business. It's coming off to one of two ways regarding your side message, where some of you are taking your love and emotions and bringing them elsewhere but for others of you, your heart is shut down and closed for business. You need time to repair. So yeah, some of you are building an emotional connection elsewhere, taking your heart, packing up your heart and sending it to someone else. That's not to say that you're physically going anywhere, but emotionally you're packing up and closing the door behind you, whereas others of you, your heart is just shut down and closed for repair. The Five of Water, this is how you feel on the inside. The person around you that, again, for your side message, the person around you that showed up for the Queen of Earth, they could, yeah, they're aware that your heart is shut down, closed for business, that you're not so much in the self-pitying energy, it's that it's more of defeated, giving up. You know where you stand on an emotional level, and it's not good. I'm hearing why bother putting your heart into things when it's just going to be misunderstood or misrepresented. So if you express yourself emotionally to somebody, like the Queen of Earth or anyone else that showed up, or for the King of Water, for those of you who are going to a King of Water, you may have made the decision to keep your emotions to yourselves, which is probably, for some of you, is probably why you have the masculine and feminine showing up. But as a defense mechanism and keeping your feminine energy under lock and key unless it's absolutely necessary to bring it out. And also with the Two of Chalices here, your attention is focused elsewhere. Like in the present moment, if you have somebody around you, your attention is focused elsewhere. It's not on there. You may be there mentally and physically, but again, your emotions are somewhere else. Like you're looking either over their head or above or around them. Yes, not coming across that you want to disconnect. Where you're currently at is still somewhere you want to be. It's just emotionally checked out. You're going through the motions. But emotionally, your heart's not in anymore. And like I said, for those of you, chances are you know who the Queen of Water is for you, the Queen of Earth is for you. They're aware that emotionally you checked out. They're just not saying anything. Yeah, they don't want to bring it up until it becomes a major issue. For some of you, they may have hinted at it, but they're not bringing it up outright. They're waiting for you to make the first move. Okay. Anyway, Aquarius, I did not intend for the reading to be this long, but this is the reading that I have for you. I do hope you enjoyed, or at least gained some insight from the reading. Now, if you did, please hit the like and subscribe button as there are more videos to come. That being said, I shall catch you in the next one. Bye, Aquarius.